Hey guys, as you might imagine, it has been pretty hectic here because we are new parents on the homestead, which means for the last month we've been very busy and it's been really hard to lock in and get some videos done. So we've decided today we're going to do something nice and chill and easy, and Diane put out a couple of posts on Instagram and YouTube asking some questions for a nice Q&A, and that's what we're going to do today and keep things pretty low-key and just a bit more personal about what's going on with us and what questions you have for us.
Yeah, just to ease back into live filming and editing and all the other things, as well as parenthood.
That's it.
One of the first questions we got asked, and I think a few people were wondering this, is just how has life been as new parents, and especially how were the first few weeks adjusting to our new normal? And honestly, to me, it's a bit of a blur now, but it was just such a beautiful time together. We were cocooned in our little nest. We had Sam's mum come over and help us out, which was like godsend. Like, that was just so lovely to have her cooking meals and helping with cleaning, because Sam was so wired trying to look after all of us and do so much more than he's ever had to do before. I was pretty much on baby duty 24/7, which was lots of fun, establishing breastfeeding, which was very painful in the first couple of weeks. But yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, I'd have to say it's been a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because it's been, in the true sense, like the ups and the downs, and it's like 1 week we're happy cocooned in the bus, and the week after we're like, no, we need to go socialize. And when I say we, I mean the baby has decided that she needs to go out, because we were just getting like so much crying and behaviors. But then when we would go out and socialize, she'd be chill as. So it's like, all right, we're going out every day this week. And then she got overstimulated, and then it's like, right, back into the cocoon. It's just been this constant ebb and flow of trying to figure out
What works.
Yeah, what works for that week and that day. And it's just been it's been really good, and we've had to like really spend a lot of time communicating and being really empathetic towards each other, and that's been my experience for the first couple of weeks. It's just that constant onslaught.
Yeah, I think the first couple of weeks were definitely a little bit more quiet. Like, she sleeps and eats really well, but it's when we get the cluster feeding sessions or the growth spurts, or just things change in her life that then affect us. Like, I'm pretty much tied to the couch most of the time, so getting anything done can be really challenging. Sam's only gone back to work in the last week or two. We've had lots of family visiting, lots of friends. So yeah, it's been a huge balancing act, as Sam said. But, you know, overall, lots of fun, lots of love, lots of support. And I think that makes it a lot more achievable.
Very challenging, but we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, and just changing as we need to.
Yeah, that's it. All right, the next question on the list is regarding bus life. And the question is, have you found the rules and regulations for bus living differ much from Victoria to New South Wales? And what other positives and or negatives have you encountered between living in New South Wales versus Victoria since your move? Other than weather, of course.
So we technically never lived in Victoria. We were just travelling through and only staying for so long. So we didn't focus on regulations and things as such, because we didn't really need to. We were never anywhere for longer than 2 months or even a month at a time, I'd say. As far as New South Wales goes, though, there's definitely more regulations that we need to look at and think about, and that is because we're trying to establish ourselves somewhere permanently, with this being the location that we've currently picked. And so with that comes the legalities of, can we actually live here? How long can we live here? Like, what is the bus classified as? Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't really matter between states so much as it does the council. Different councils have different policies on it, and you know, they'll have different reactions depending on if people complain or not, and how much input they want from you to declare. You know, you get to a new place, you check your council regulations. So most of the places we've been staying under that, you know, because this is a motorized caravan. We've been within the realms of staying on someone's property in a caravan, which you can do that for up to a month. And we were in Victoria.
2 months even. 60 days usually is the
Oh,
average.
60 days, yeah.
Yeah.
So in Victoria, we were just going from one place to the next. Whereas here, the regulation we're trying to go under is a particular section of legislation that declares us as part of the household of the property that we're living on. So there does need to be an occupancy, a home with an occupancy here. Our address is that home, and essentially it's like having a teenager and they hit 18, and instead of them moving out, they spill out into a caravan. That's what that law's for. But it doesn't have to apply. But that doesn't have to apply to family members. It can apply to just anyone that's moved into the household. So we've been taking advantage of that. But now, as Di said, we're looking to live here permanently. So that is causing some
Extra reading.
Extra reading, yeah. Extra attention to detail, and there's a lot of grey. That's the problem with it. And I don't think that it matters where you go, but there is a housing crisis, so they do want places for people to live. So there's empathy in the process.
We're also in a very rural location, and that usually gives more leeway to being able to do things like this and live alternatively. It really does depend on neighbours to allow you to stay in places or to not cause many issues, because the council doesn't get involved unless they need to be involved. So we definitely had a nice cruisy run for the first month and a half of being here, and now we've got some neighbours that, you know, are causing a few more hurdles for us, but we know that we're within our rights, and so we're just making sure that we are ticking, or we're dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and making sure that we're foolproof with what we're doing.
And just finishing on that, I would just say, if anyone's looking at doing this, it is a factor in the lifestyle. It is an added stressor. Security is an issue when you're living on other people's land in a bus. But just doing that extra research, and like at the moment we're just seeking some legal advice just to make sure that we are doing the right thing. So just that reassurance, and it's just a process.
Yeah.
How are you guys going with sleep in the single space with Bub?
So far, good. We definitely, the first few weeks, we wanted to both be supporting one another. So at night time, it would be me waking up to do the feeds, and then Sam waking up to do diaper changes and burping. And so Eloise would wake up maybe 2 to 3 times a night, and so we would therefore be waking up 2 to 3 times a night. And that worked really well for the initial first weeks. And then we hit week 5 and her 1 month milestone. And I'm not sure if it's a growth spurt or just us in general, Sam going back to work, but it started to become tougher to both be waking up in the middle of the night and then going through the day as well. So we've kind of been adjusting things and seeing what works. Sam somehow sleeps through Eloise's cries for the most part, and more so wakes up because of the dogs or myself, which is absolutely hilarious. One of my favourite things that has happened in the first week is I was trying to wake Sam up. I think this was week 1. I was trying to wake Sam up to do the burping, or to like rock and burp the baby. And he ended up rocking and burping himself in bed as opposed to actually getting up. So he was dreaming of doing it as opposed to actually doing
I just started rocking in bed. What are you doing? I'm rocking the baby.
It was hilarious.
As far as sleeping in a single space, though, it's actually working really well. What we've got is a temporary bassinet that's meant for travel that you like lay out on the bed. And I've just set that up at the head of our bed on like some pillows and a bit of a strong flat surface, and we've placed that at the head of the bed. So where Eloise is sleeping is just above our heads in a nice little safe zone away from us rolling, but it's as close to co-sleeping as you can get without that added risk. And that's been working really well. Also, like, noise in here, like these guys can go to bed and I can sit and watch a movie, and like Eloise sleeps through that fine.
Because even though we are in a single space, our bus is set out to have multiple spaces. So we've got the bedroom section in the back with a door. Yes, it's not soundproof, but it makes a big difference when you've got a 12.5 meter bus from one end to the other. Same goes with lighting. We've got lighting in those two sections so that when Eloise and I need darkness in the back for nighttime and Sam's at the front still, he doesn't have to sit around in the dark as well. He can light up his space without it affecting the back. I did want to follow up. There was a question how our bassinet, the hanging one, is going.
Yep.
And so we were actually at our neighbour's house sitting for the first week or few days of Eloise's life. And so we only got to trial out that bassinet, the hanging one, like maybe 5 days in. And the moment I put Eloise into it, I could see that it started like shifting with her weight. And so it wasn't locked in place. And then it kind of also leaned towards the front. So as she was wiggling, it was like she was sliding down. And whether it was my hormones or my tiger mum or whatever was going on, I sat in front of that bassinet with her wiggling her way down, just crying, being like, I can't leave my baby here. This is not safe. Like, I'm not moving away until this problem is fixed. And Sam literally had to grab the baby because she started, like, you know, fussing and crying, and I was crying. And so he just moved her away, gave me some time to compose myself, and then came up with the travel bassinet behind our heads, at least for now. And then we'll come up with a new strategy for the hanging one.
Yeah, which, while she's this size, the travel bassinet at the head of the bed has been working great.
Yeah.
And it's not really much reason to change it. But yeah, that was a problem that needed to be solved very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Mum was not having it.
No. The first few weeks were very hormonally driven. I think I cried at anything that made me happy or sad. It was a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm recovered enough now, and yeah, I feel a lot more back to my old self, and now my problem is just the responsibility of being attached to the baby and not getting too much done, and that's just a balanced work with us.
Does it feel good knowing that you don't have to move anywhere periodically and that you can put down roots at your own pace? It feels amazing. Like, having security, even this extra level that we've got now, is just like, we've been missing it for 18 months and it's just been killer. Because, I mean, everywhere we've gone, like, if there's a good space for us to be, then the relationship with the landlord is like, they want temporary. So there's security issues there. Or they're happy for us to be around as long as they want, but we're right on their doorstep. And that's like, that for us is, you know, we can see it gets, it's a lot for everyone.
Yeah.
And so security has always been a really big issue for us. And where we are now, I think, like, we've gotten that security, but it's still, like we were talking about earlier, in the grey. And we'd still really like to get things into the green as far as security, so we just have that full security so we can feel safe to put our roots down. Because, like, we can just uproot and go somewhere else again, but yeah, the fear is that we spend a lot of money on infrastructure, we start getting animals in, we build a chook coop, and then something happens and we have to uproot. And that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
So it's been great, but really what it's done is it's made us feel like we're at home, but home's not quite safe enough yet. So now we're taking steps to get across that line.
The first few weeks when we didn't have this, like, grey zone happening, which absolutely sucks that it's happening and at this time of our life right now, but regardless, those first few weeks of having that security and starting to put down infrastructure and dream and plan again, it was night and day. Like, knowing that we would be stable somewhere, knowing that our baby would grow up somewhere. It's just, yeah, it's taken so much stress away of not knowing where home would be next. So sort of coming back to that again is bringing back those old stresses. But we know no matter what the outcome's going to be, like, we've got each other's backs. We've got a huge support network around us. We're set up so well and so self-sufficiently that it doesn't matter where we are, we will be okay. But once we can, you know, fix up the greys and make sure that it's all clear, black and white for everyone to see, and that's not too far off, we should hopefully be able to start making things happen again and feel like we're not trapped or limited or having to live this temporary lifestyle forever, we can at least start to do things that we know are going to fulfill us and make our life better, like growing organically and growing vegetables again, being able to have chickens and not spending $33, I think we're spending at the moment, a week on eggs, which is ridiculous. And just having our own space and freedom to do the things that we want to do.
Does it make a huge difference having a washing machine now compared to hand washing?
Well, we never were hand washing. We were going to laundromats and we were relying on other people's washing machines, like our friends or family. So it's definitely better than having to time manage and bring everything along into town. And with a baby and doing cloth diapers, which we absolutely love, it's a lot easier having a washing machine on board.
So, like, just following up from a question before, part of being able to put our roots down, part of that was being able to hook up a 1,000-litre tank to straight into the bus, so I don't have to keep refueling. I could put a washing machine in. Like, we have a freezer outside now instead of in the bus, which is just so much easier to deal with. Like, that's all part of that putting down roots. So it is so much better having the washing machine. But yeah, it's like, it really was more of a, like, I'm going to band practice, can you take the washing? And it's like, oh,
it's just
like,
an extra thing. Yeah, that's right.
And often I'll get to band practice, put a wash on, and then go start playing music, and then come back when I'm ready to go, I'm in like, I did one load and it's wet. Like, it's not even, it ended up taking off a lot of our time.
Yeah, so it's definitely great. We have the washing machine in place of where the freezer used to be, so it's convenient as far as location goes. And we've just got our machine that we bought years ago and had in storage at our friend's house. So yeah, all good. So the next question follows on from the last location question that we had, and that is just how long can we stay on our current property and what's the vision for the property as well. So let's say that there's no grey zone that we're working with at the moment, and things are as we had organised them to be and had made sure that they were going to be. And that is, there's an indefinite amount of time that we can stay here. So we could stay here for a year, 5, 10, however many years we might like. But we're going off a 3-month check-in basis, and that's just for everyone's security, so that we don't have any bad blood and we make sure that everything is fair. And that is something that we negotiated together and put into place, but as far as a leave date goes, there isn't one for us, as long as everything's going well and everybody's happy.
As far as our relationship with the landlord, it's a beautiful relationship, but if she needs us to go, then we get 3 months as well. So, like, there's some security on that end. In our relationship with the land and the landowner, there's a lot of security there, which is great.
Yeah, and there's also a few other locations within her property that we could move on to if, let's say, she wants to use this part of her property for something else. Let's say one of her sons moves down and wants to build a home. This would be the ideal location. And so we might just decide to go on to a different part of the property, or we might be ready to move on altogether and buy our own block.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Our vision for this place, we have given us a small footprint because we don't want to expand too much and make things difficult if one day we do want to leave. But our vision is to have a lot of the beautiful homestead things that we had before improved, because we've learnt a lot since. But, you know, having chickens, having rotational pigs and meat birds, having gardens that sustain our life and feed us, having a place for our dogs to play and a forest to walk through, and just making this a cute little sanctuary for our family to grow up in that, is just simple, off-grid and connected.
I think everything that Di just mentioned are all at the top of the list. They're all the things that we've done this before, and we know we like everything that Diane just said. So the vision is those things. You know, like we want to have pigs again. We're not going to do sheep again.
No sheep.
No sheep. But we are going to do chooks. Gardens are a priority. Having a yard for the dogs. Like, that's definitely the vision. The vision is to have a space that we can still achieve our sustainability goals, and Di gets a garden and we get to have that plate of food that's 100% from the land. But we also have the ability to expand if we want to, or retract if we want to. And because I'm a musician, there are periods of time in my life where like I'm leaving a lot. And what we found before was that if we expanded too much, or we were a bit too ambitious, or things were a little bit too hands-on, I couldn't leave.
Yeah.
Or if I left, it was very stressful. Mm-hmm. So that's the vision for this place now. It's to achieve our sustainability goals, but with the animals and the infrastructure that we've been enjoying. What was it like having pigs, and is it worth getting them? Yes, 100%. Absolutely love pigs. Gonna do pigs again. I will say one thing though. We bonded with them, and that sucked at the very end because it was traumatic. But we all know if you're a meat eater and you're willing to walk down the road of facing that down, it is hard. But the pigs were like, they had personalities, and like they were intelligent. They knew what was going on, and was it worth it? Yes. But the 2 weeks afterwards, I don't think we even ate them. Where they just went in the freezer.
No, we definitely ate them. We ate them that day.
Yeah, well, I've repressed that.
Yeah, no, we definitely ate them and we were fine, but it is just the challenge of raising your own animals and being responsible for it. You need to face the fact that death is a part of it, and if you want to be a meat eater and take that responsibility, it's the price that you pay. But pigs were so much fun. We love that they were a temporary animal, so only here for about 2 to 3 months, and as travelers, as very busy people that love to get off the property and not be tied down to a homestead, it meant that we could do that without it being an animal that would stay here for 2 years at a time, like a steer.
Yeah. A mistake that we made as well is we kept them around a bit longer than we should have. Like, we butchered them at like 116 kilos, which meant we had them like an extra month or so longer. And that was the period of time where we like really bonded to them. When they were a bit younger, they didn't really like care about anything. They were just very active and running around. They were just super cute.
Yeah.
But we just weren't ready to see them off. So yeah, it was definitely worth it, but we'll do things a little bit differently next time.
Yep. They were easy to manage as well. In the system that we had a temporary system. We have videos on our channel if you are new and wondering what our pig journey was like. We have a whole playlist and we go into our experience and what we did. So I highly recommend going and checking out the playlists. I've been very clear on, putting them together for you guys to make it easier. But 100%, when we can, we will have pigs again.
Yeah. Likely a winter animal for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're hoping for this time next year to have pigs.
And yeah, that's all. That's all the questions. That's how things have kind of been going and the things that are on our mind. Hopefully we will get to an equilibrium soon enough where we're able to do a little bit more here and there. For now, we're, of course, prioritising our baby girl and our mental health and supporting one another through the different things that we have to do, not so much choose to do. So yeah, please be patient with us, and yeah, hopefully we'll get to see you soon with some projects and things that are happening.
I'm certain we will.
Yeah. All right, see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.